not have features. I'll give you an example you probably know. The Academy Award, the Oscar, is Art Deco. Manufactured, by the way, in Chicago. Now, in 1980, look at the annex to the Board of Trade. This is coming to us from world-class architect from Germany, Helmut Jahn. Helmut Jahn is a postmodernist. The postmodernists got tired of all the glass boxes, so they started using design from the past. So although he's using modern material, he's got postmodern Art Deco features with a roof and the dramatic setbacks. Now we're constantly fighting entropy in Chicago. All systems want to lay down and rest. We have to wake our bridges up. So the Congress Parkway, usually it's just a sand blasting and repainting, but the entire infrastructure of the Congress Parkway, this has been going on for 2 years now, 2 summers, and I just found out the estimated final date for the Congress rebuilding is May 2012. Now let's return to postmodernism. The Pink Tower directly in front of the Sears Tower, 311 South Wacker by Cohn, Pedersen, and Fox. At 961 feet. In 1990, you know that was the tallest concrete reinforced structure in the world. The style is called castellated Gothic. Now, the most distinctive feature is the crown. That's a 10-story high drum of fluorescent light. There are 2,000 lamps inside. Now, if you see that lit up tonight, you might hear Chicagoans actually call it the White Castle. I myself do. Is this some longing for a medieval age past with that nickname? No, it's a longing for sliders, White Castle hamburgers. If you see it lit up, it looks like that famous Midwestern restaurant chain that Harold and Kumar were so desperately looking for. And I want to tell you something, though, when I compare this building to the White Castle hamburger joint, I'm not making a silly joke. There is actually a connection. The White Castle restaurant and 311 South Wacker, you know they share the same inspiration. They're both modeled after a famous Chicago building which is called the Water Tower. It stands at the corner of Chicago and Michigan Avenue today as it stood in 1869 when it was first built as basically a water tower for the pumping station, a standpipe for the water tower's pumping station right across the street. Well, during the fire of 1871, that entire north side neighborhood was totally laid flat, except for the water tower remained untouched. For that reason, it became a symbol of Chicago's hope. And if you go over there, go inside even, because it is a visitor center today. Hey, take another look at the Sears Willis Tower now. And as you gaze up at the sheer face of the tallest building in America, imagine that you are French. Your name is Alain Robert, but the world calls you Spider-Man. Do you know Alain Robert, the French daredevil, the building climber? In August 1999, he stood at the base of the Sears Tower, no climbing equipment, a simple hook on his belt in case he got tired. Amazing, this pop. A little over 2 hours then, like a monkey, Alain Robert climbed to the top of the Sears Tower. He was welcomed with open arms and closed handcuffs by Chicago police. He was arrested for criminal trespass and performing an aerial show without using a net. Not to be discouraged, he went to San Francisco, he climbed the Golden Gate Bridge, home to Paris, the Eiffel Tower, Kuala Lumpur, Petronas Towers, Taipei 101 of Taiwan. Now, Alain Robert is pushing 50 years old, so where was he this spring? He climbed the Burj Khalifa of Dubai. Not content to stay on the roof, he shimmied up its spire so he could claim the entire 2,717 feet. Now consider the mind of building climber Alain Robert, how he views the universe. For what is architecture if it is not the way that we interact with the space that we inhabit? Now you or I look at a building, we think beauty, we think function. Alain Robert comes along and says, aha, a new obstacle to help me overcome my fear of heights. Should we all climb a building like Mr. Robert? Of course not. I will, however, suggest it never hurts to see the universe with new eyes. I think of this daily as I revisit the work of one of the great architect philosophers of the 20th century who saw a universe all over this spaceship we call Earth. Have you ever been to Disney World? He took the icosahedron and gave us that geodesic dome. Chemists might know that the carbon-60 molecule that looks like a soccer ball has been renamed
Look at a rat.
Minister Fullerene in honor of Bucky Fuller. Now, if you don't remember the work of Bucky Fuller, look him up when you get home, and then turn in your papers to